My name is Staff Sergeant Meysydd. I'm a member of Raglan Barracks Detachment in Newport, which is in the south of Wales. I'm back at Raglan Barracks to do basic training and commanding, so I'm proud to hold that role. It's a role I love doing. I love getting the young people, inspiring them to be better people.
My name is Kenny Bolt and I'm 13.
My name is Julia Nagy. I am 13 years of age.
This competition is Operation Reflect, and it is primarily centred around remembering people, not just from our local area but from Wales as a whole, who died in the First World War. And to enter this competition, we as a detachment had to pick a team, a few people who we thought could speak well.
Started last year. I was only a basic then, and it was kind of like, they were like, oh, who wants to do Opera Reflect? And a lot of people volunteered, and we got split into 3 or 4 teams. Each team had to make a presentation. They presented it, they sent it through for adults to analyse. They chose what they thought was the best one, which was ours.
Our main thing we had to do to start off with was to select a person or a regiment surrounded around Beaumont Hamel, which is the town that we're going to tomorrow to speak about. So we had a lot of research. We spent detachment nights, mainly a Thursday, picking names, picking certain situations, timings and all that, going really in depth of what we were going to talk about to back up what we were saying. We've really honed in on breaking common myths. A lot of people who have come here this week haven't spoken in front of people before, is quite nervous. They have spoken to cadets in certain lessons, but not to an audience.
Before this, I wasn't that confident on speaking, but now I'm a bit more confident. I've enjoyed it quite a bit because I've only been in cadets for a year and it's been a really great experience. I've done so many things, Opera Reflect, because you get to go around the world and meet new people.
Tomorrow we're going to be presenting what we made, and we're quite proud to present what we made at a burial site to the South Wales borderers who we're commemorating, so we're really honoured to have that opportunity. Going abroad is extremely expensive, it has always been expensive. And for the Army Cadets to give us this opportunity to go away with people that we do cadets with, you know, like when we started off a few months ago, people were nervous, people were sweating, people finished I didn't want to do this, they found it was too hard, but we practiced a lot, and practice does make perfect. We just kept going, we go over things, we changed things if they weren't working, we added things if we thought they'd go right, and it has gone well, and we have created a very well-rounded presentation that we all are proud of.
It's just an experience it bonds us as cadets. It's like one big family. It's like a second home. So, but staying overnight with people and just talking, having fun, it just creates a bond which is like unbreakable.
They made little progress and only a few men of the captain whose orders made it across. The 86th Brigade was on the left and the 87th Brigade was on the right. They were similarly shot to pieces. The darkness, however, did enable some wounded to be rescued.
And look this way, say cheese or gorgon going on. And there we go.
You go. Is it Charles? Yeah.
Charles William Goodwin.
C33.
Oh. What's your name again?
Going to the place to visit our presentation really put an aspect of sight into what we were actually doing. Because if you look at school and cadet lessons, when we just tell you, oh, for example, this happened, you think, yeah, but I can't actually see it. So we actually went to the place where the 2nd South Wales Border Cadets came out of the trench and actually had to see where they were running to or walking to, as it was then. Really kind of makes it feel a bit more emotional.
It's been good so far. I've learned quite a bit and it's been fun. At first it was very nerve-wracking because there was loads of people there, but then after a while I understood what I needed to do. It's a great opportunity to go and visit other places and it's good fun.
When we visited the place that we actually researched, it was it was really fascinating to actually see it, because obviously we saw pictures, but to actually be there and stand there, it was a completely different experience then. I learned much more about the actual history and what happened, and different perspectives, different from like poets' perspectives, and how most of the really famous poets were actually soldiers in the war.
The whole team, I do history A level, so I've understood a lot more about history than they have, but they kind of agreed with me when we talked about it afterwards that they kind of felt like they understood now what happened there, more than just reading it off a piece of paper. They could see for themselves what was actually going on at the time. Learning about the conditions that our great grandfathers fought in mud, rats, blood, there's disease everywhere, it really makes us feel very lucky to be who we are in this day and age in a peaceful society. If it wasn't for sacrifices British soldiers made, Canadian soldiers, South Africans or whatever, we wouldn't live the life we would today in democratic countries where we have the right to criticise and the right to praise. So I think it's very important that, especially us as Army Cadets, we remember what sacrifices people have made to contribute to the freedoms we live in today.
Take up opportunities like this, because you don't get to do this normally, so just any opportunity, just take it up.
To any Army Cadets or Combined Cadets who want to do this sort of thing, it's very, very important that you remember what has happened, and it's a great opportunity to learn about what maybe your own cadet regiment has done in the past, and to learn about your society as a whole. I'd say Optimum Flex was proud, and it's proud to be where our forefathers fought, where Welsh soldiers kind of contributed to the First World War.
I don't think I'd be doing stuff like this if it weren't for the ACF.